When I started the gym, I was like a lot of people. I was skinny. I could wrap my whole hand around my arms. I felt so insecure on like the way I looked, and just looking in the mirror didn't feel good at all. The confidence I had, there really was none. I remember just walking about feeling so shy. I remember going to parents' evening and just like crying in front of a teacher because I wasn't confident at all. I couldn't stand up for myself. I couldn't be like a man properly. Instead, I was just like this skinny teenage boy. It didn't feel good at all. I didn't feel happy with who I was. I didn't feel good of like any part about me. I remember sitting in bed some days on my phone. I would scroll there till 2 a.m., 3 a.m., like dark times, the demon hours. And I'd scroll and I remember my phone would die or my headphones would die or something was happening where I'd have to be stuck with my own thoughts. I'd have to be stuck with my own thinking. And I kept thinking the same thought of, I don't want to be me anymore. I wish I could swap with like the cool kid in school. I wish I could be a popular kid. I don't want to be who I am because I didn't like myself. I didn't like who I was becoming as I couldn't see a future at all. I was out of shape. I wasn't doing well in school at all. And I didn't really have any confidence. I didn't chat to many girls at all. And this all took its toll. It made me hit a low point, hit that point like I described where I was in my bed, strolling and just like, I don't want to do this anymore. And that's when, that low point is when the change started to happen. As I was quite nerdy, I played video games, I had glasses and whatnot. I was like on Instagram, on Netflix, playing video games every day. I didn't have many hobbies anymore. I used to do karate for quite a while, but I quit that. And ever since I quit that, I had no hobbies. My only hobby was Fortnite. So I was just doing that full time essentially, just playing Fortnite every night until about 2 a.m. This felt normal because all my friends around me were doing it, and every like person I knew was doing the same as me. We were all playing Fortnite till 3 a.m. Then we'd play Rocket League, then we'd talk for a bit, and we'd complain about something. We'd be like, we wasn't like how our lives were, but we weren't happy to change it. We weren't trying to change it at all. Instead, we were just complaining about it. We were being the same as we were. We were just being these little nerds, and it didn't feel good at all. It didn't feel happy, as there was so much like pleasure. There was so much what you'd think it was enjoyment with playing video games, as it is a fun task. If I play video games now, I get hooked on it because it's so fun and it's so cool to do. But we were doing that pleasure so much, we were doing that enjoyment so much, it wasn't fun anymore. It was just numb. Like the first time I remember ever watching YouTube videos and watching like funny YouTube videos, they were hilarious. Like I was crying in tears. I was watching them all day, like the GTA clips of like the Sidemen. But after about 6 hours of watching them, 10 hours of watching them, they're not that funny anymore. You've heard every joke and you're still watching them to try and get that initial laugh, but I couldn't get that laugh anymore. It was just boring. It was like, I was just watching it, to like pass the time, to just do something. And it was so useless, it was so silly. But like I said, I hit that low point. I was at a point where I was like, I've got to change this, I want to change this. And at the exact same time, one of my friends started to go to the gym. I hadn't spoke to him for a couple months as it was summer holidays, but he started to go to the gym. And I saw on the first day back to school the change he made. I remember going to school, it was still sunny outside, and we were all playing football and whatnot, and he took his blazer off, he took his like jacket off, so he was just in a plain shirt like this. And I remember just seeing him, his arms were massive, he was like in good shape, he was just better than everyone else at that point, and it took him, 6 weeks or something. And he was looking bigger than everyone else, more confident than everyone else. As he was like me, he was quite nerdy, he didn't like chat to girls, he wasn't confident. But now his arms were bloody massive. He was like standing out, people respected him so much. And he dated the most popular girl in school. This was when I was like proper impressed with him. And I respected him so much, I liked him so much. This is when I just wanted to be like him more, and I wanted to get the same things that he did. So it took time, but I convinced myself and convinced my parents to go to the gym, as they were so against it. They were so like, no, if you go to the gym, your bones are gonna not grow properly and you're gonna injure yourself. And it was so like, I don't know, no one just let me go to the gym. But once I convinced them to go, once I turned 16 and they were like, okay, you can go now, I went with him. And I went every day. I remember our first session that we did bench press, and it was like a competition. There was 8 boys, and boys are competitive and whatnot, so we're all secretly competing who's the strongest. As I wanted to know. One of my friends was telling me he's stronger than me. I'm telling someone else that I'm stronger than them. So it was a competition. We took in turns, you know. You start with a bar, you do up and weight. We started with a bar. Some people already fell out. Some people weren't strong enough to do that. As when you're teenagers, you're not actually that strong. So some people failed at the bar. Others, we carried on going. A couple of them, who would go into the gym, they were obviously so much stronger than everyone else, and they were the proper like chads. They were proper owning it. And I was watching them lot, and it's so inspirational. As I started to get up there with them, I was very genetically blessed. I was very like athletic, just naturally. So I was the fourth best there, and the other three above me all went to the gym. So I was pretty gassed that I beat everyone else. But I remember seeing them lot, and they just made my like genetics, they made my athleticism just look easy. Like I was doing 70 maybe, 60, something like that. And that was light work to them. They were on like the 90s. They were so much better than me, so much higher than me. And that's when like it lit a spark under me. I became obsessed with the gym. I wanted to beat them. I had to beat them. As it was just so impressive to see. I wanted to impress people myself. I was so cool to see, and it was so fun. I was like, I've got to do this myself. As I was a skinny kid still, I was insecure and I didn't like how I looked. And I remember the first time I went to the gym as well, I remember taking my jumper off. And I remember one of my friends just laughing at me, just mocking it, calling me skinny. And how like deep that hurt, how sad that made me feel. But then that sort of was a driver. Because I was like, nah, I'm not letting this happen to me. I'm not letting this mockery happen. And it drove me to go to the gym even more. It drove me to become more obsessed with the gym and want to beat them even more. But as I started this gym journey, there was a lot of things my friend taught me. He taught me how, like the good technique, what exercises, what sets, the best workouts for it. I learned all these different things and the basics of the gym. But there was still so many things I didn't know. There was still so many things that I needed. And no one, I feel, ever said them. No one really told you about them, as they're sort of underlooked and not really appreciated as much. But if I told my younger self these, then it would help my journey so much more. As I felt like I was on the wrong path at times, but it wasn't. It was just I didn't know something. The first thing is you get a lot of backlash from friends, from schoolmates, from family, from anyone you know. The postman, it doesn't matter who it is, you get this backlash. And this isn't just with the gym, this is with starting anything. If you start like a boxing club, if you start a martial art, if you start becoming religious, any of these things, you get this weird backlash with it. And I think it's jealousy. It seems to be jealousy. As these nerd friends that I was playing with at the time, I was playing at Xbox till 2, 3 a.m. Once I stopped playing with them as much, like they'd text me to come on Xbox and I'd say, no, I'm at the gym. They mocked it. I remember one of them he'd always make fun of it and say, it's not that serious, you don't need to go gym, mate. And like, he proper attacked me. And he was obviously not being malicious about it, he was a nice guy. But he told me that, just don't do this. And he was like jealous of it. He didn't like that I was going to the gym. So he made fun of it and he tried to mock it and tried to pull me down. And obviously at the time, it made me sort of listen to him a bit. Like, he'd tell me the gym's not that serious, it doesn't matter that much. So then I'd listen to him a bit and I'd go on Xbox that day instead of going gym. But the real fact is the gym benefited me so much more. As one, the gym was genuinely fun. I enjoyed every session, I enjoyed every minute of it. I can't think of a time where I wasn't happy. I was always happy that I went to the gym. I never regretted not going to the gym, and I don't think you ever will. Versus a video game. You could play them, and I remember so many times I'd play them for so long, and like I'd have school the next morning. You go to bed, it's 2 a.m, and you're like, why have I done that? You feel so like ashamed, you feel so annoyed. Playing a video game is fun, and it's the right to do, but only at like a manageable amount. Only like an hour, only like doing it with your brother or doing it with friends and doing it in like a social environment. As I wouldn't want to play video games anymore just online. I'd want to play them when my brother's in the house as well and we're playing against each other. That's when they become fun. So this backlash I was getting from friends, it did discourage me so much. It made me feel like an outlier, like I was someone different. And you are when you start going to the gym. As most people, the average person, if you look at them, if you walk on the street and you look at the average person, usually they're like overweight, fat, not really eating good foods, they don't exercise at all, like they can hardly walk upstairs. And seeing this is like, it makes you realise that just going to the gym once, going to the gym weekly, you're doing better than most people now. Is people will pull you down, people will tell you it's stupid that you're going to the gym, but going to the gym's so good for you. It's the best thing you can generally do as you'll upgrade yourself physically, mentally, emotionally. And it's something good to do, something productive to do with your time. Versus a video game, it's just not. You're spending so much time. The amount of hours, if I check my Xbox, how many hours I spent on it, maybe, I don't even know the numbers, like 10,000, 20,000. I don't know what that equates to in years or months or weeks. I remember checking it once and it was about 35 weeks at one point. That's nearly a whole year that I've just spent on my Xbox. The amount of things you can do with 35 weeks is incredible. That the amount of just more sleep I could get, I could go to the gym, I could go on a holiday so much, I could just speak to so many people in that 35 weeks, but instead I just played the Xbox the whole time. So if I stopped listening to the backlash and if I tried to stop listening to it, it would get louder. They'd say more things. They'd say, like, they would insult it even more. They'd tell me, like, why are you even doing this and whatnot. And it does feel so annoying when you don't see results. Is when you're going to the gym for the first 2 weeks, 3 weeks, you won't see many results. So then people will mock it. People will say, you're not even working well in the gym. It's not even working or whatnot. And it feels discouraging. You feel annoyed about it. You feel you can't be asked about it. But you have to push through the pain for a bit. You have to, like, stick with the backlash, stick with people mocking it all the time. As once you get past that first initial 2 week, 3 week period, it starts to become smooth sailing. It starts to mould you better and it starts to work. As I remember, those same friends that mocked me, the same friends that made fun of me, that told me to come to the gym, come on Xbox instead of coming to the gym. Those friends, like, they're coming to the gym now with me. I've got one of them, and like he became obsessed with the gym. I didn't speak to him for ages, and the next time I speak to him, he's going gym all the time, and he's talking to me about it, and like he proper joined it as well. But for a long time, he was mocking me on it. He was telling me like, gym's stupid, don't go gym, play Xbox, have fun. And another one, he was telling me how he wants to get into the gym, how he wish he could be in the gym, and all this. And I took him to a couple sessions, and he never stayed committed to it. But they want the same as you. The only reason you're getting this backlash, you're getting this like attack, is because of jealousy. It's because they don't want you to succeed. And the reason they don't want you to succeed is not because they're bad friends, not because they're horrible people, but instead they just don't want to see you better than them. As seeing someone better than you, it's a wake-up call for yourself. So I found this wake-up call when I saw my friend go to the gym. When I saw him start the gym and his arms were massive and he was looking better than everyone else, it was a wake-up call to like show me and tell me like, okay, I'm not doing good myself. I need to pick it up here and I need to do better. So when you get this wake-up call, and when they get that wake-up call, they will probably join you, or they'll stop talking to you, or it will just all work out for the better. But you can't let the backlash and what they're saying stop you from going to the gym. The sad thing was that it wasn't only my friends. It was my family as well. It was my family for a longer time than it was my friends. As the first initial period of starting the gym, I got really into it, and my family didn't mind too much. They weren't too concerned. But once I started spending like 3 hours there, once I didn't come home and revise, once I wasn't doing what they planned for me to do, they started to tell me the gym's not good for you. Like, you shouldn't be going to gym that much. You're gonna break your bones. You're gonna like get stretch marks and all these different things. Then they saw me like tracking calories, like looking at the foods and eating Pacific foods, having a clean diet, like trying to work on my health. This is when like you get the full-on attack. This is where you get all the backlash, all the chatter, all the like why this is bad. So what this looked like for me was, I remember so much. I'd track my food, so I'd scan the barcodes of each food and I'd track the calories of it. And my parents, they hated this. Like, I'd weigh my food and they'd just insult it and insult it and insult it. Like, they'd give me, like, they'd try me to try a food and it would be like, they'd have a Chinese and I'd just try like a prawn cracker or a piece of chicken and they'd be like, oh, you're not going to weigh that? Do you not want to weigh that one? That may not be in the diet. Just like these sarcastic, quite annoying, quite like, oh, just piss off comments. Like, when they'd say them, I just think, oh, go away. Because it's just annoying. It's just annoying to hear it every day. And when someone's got like cake or it's a birthday or something, they'd always offer me sweets and more. They'd always try and make me cheat on my diet. And they didn't do it out of like maliciousness, but you could tell they're doing it, and I could tell they're doing it at least. And if I'd eat chocolates, or like if there'd be a pack of chocolates, and I'd be like, I'm not eating chocolates because I want to be clean. I want to build more muscle and eat a clean diet. Every day, all the time, they'd come up to me like, do you want a chocolate? Do you want a chocolate? Oh, is it not in the diet? Do you want a chocolate? And just like this like pestering of keep asking you until you eat one. And once you eat one, then they're sort of satisfied. Because you say no to the chocolate and no to the chocolate, it makes you look like you're better than them. As they know chocolate's bad for them, you know chocolate's bad for you. But they're eating it and you're not. So when everyone around you eating it, you feel okay, you feel fine. But when someone's not eating the chocolate because it's bad for you, it sort of makes you aware, it makes you realise, oh, chocolate's bad for me. I shouldn't be eating this myself. I should be like him. But in that process, there becomes that enviness, like jealousy between you two. Even if it's your own mum, even if it's your dad, it doesn't really matter who it is as much. It's just this like natural feeling we all get. And you'd see him eat the clean food and you'd be like, you'd just feel annoyed because they're doing better than you. And when you see someone doing better than you, it's just an annoying feeling. So I got all these sarcastic comments, especially about diet, as people would tell me like, oh, it's healthy to eat a bit of cake. When that's just not true. That's just what people tell themselves, to eat a bit of cake. But it's not healthy to eat a bit of cake. But cake is unhealthy, and it's not healthy to eat unhealthy stuff. And all this like, just silly things that people would say to me. And it only came because I was like, okay, I'm not eating the bad food. I'm not doing what the normal people do. I'm not doing what the average is doing. As when you're doing better than the average gets annoyed at you. They want to bring you down. They call it tall poppy syndrome. When one flower, one poppy grows taller than the rest, they chop that poppy down. So when you're doing better than the rest, when you're starting to grow while everyone else is staying on the same level, they're going to chop you down. And that could be in school, that could be with friends, that could be with family. It doesn't matter who it's with. People are going to chop you down. People are going to attack you. And they could be the closest people to you, but they attack you out of jealousy, out of like a jealous and like a point where they're annoyed that they're not as good as you. But what I wish I told myself was to act as if I'm like them, but do something else. Like when someone asks you for a chocolate, maybe say, yeah, take the chocolate and just put it in your pocket. Because that's what I do now. If someone asks me for cake, like I'll say yeah to the cake, and then I just won't even eat the slice. I'll just leave it on the plate. I didn't like it. Like you just stop the spotlight from going to you. Is when everyone's getting offered a chocolate and you're the only one that says no. Everyone's sort of wondering, why has he not had a chocolate? Versus if you just say yeah, put it in your pocket, no one's going to tell. It just makes it so much easier. And that's the same with friends. That's the same with like going on the Xbox. Instead of saying I'm at the gym every time, just say I'm busy. Like you don't have to be specific with it. You don't have to tell everyone what you're doing. As it is cool to tell people you're at the gym. It is. If you like telling people you're at the gym just to show them you're committed, then tell them you're at the gym. But I tell people I'm at the gym and they just attack me. They're just like, tell me why I shouldn't be at the gym, or just give me some stupid reason for something. And it just gets on your nerves. It's like, why? Just leave me alone. And I wish I told all my younger self this. I wish I understood that people don't attack you out of jealousy, out of envy, out of like this hatred. Instead, it's just because you're proving you're better than them in a way. And they feel annoyed that they're not as good as you. And we all do it. Even I do it. Like, if I saw someone eating a better diet than me, I'd question them a lot. I'd be like, oh, why are you not eating that? Maybe I'd even offer them a chocolate. Just to try break them, to try prove they're not better than me. But it's just the way it is. And it's not something we can change through saying stuff or doing stuff. Instead, it's like, you just got to push through it. At one point, people change and people they respect you for you. Like, my parents don't make comments about my diet anymore. They don't care that I'm weighing my food or that I'm going gym every single day. Like, you become normal after a while. It becomes a norm that you're the gym goer. But when you're in that initial stage where you haven't been going gym long enough to be associated with a gym, to be a gym goer, then people attack you, people disrespect you, people just say stupid stuff to you. I hope that helped a lot for you. Please like and subscribe down below. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.